What is up, everybody? I'm just getting out of class at ODC, and I had some ideas I wanted to share with you. The workout I'm doing this month really is a very challenging, awesome, fun, dynamic flow. And like all Essentrics workouts, it's pulling us into a lot of side-to-side lunging. If you haven't been to a class with me, or you haven't done an Essentrics workout, then you may not know how much time we spend in this position, this highly functional. I'm on a mat right now, which I would not be in my class, but I just finished class, like I said, and it's still on my floor. So side-to-side lunge. And we do all kinds of fun stuff from this position with our arms, right? But here I start in a position where I'm on a strong anchored bent leg and an active straight leg with reasonably level hips that aren't tipping around for the hip strengthening, the mobility, the stability, getting those feet nice and balanced, and really helping the health of my hips, my knees, my ankles by strengthening in this frontal plane in order to be able to do effective sagittal plane human stuff. I need to be balanced in frontal plane. It's just a predicament of walking on two legs, of bipedalism, to be able to be strong in frontal plane. So Essentrics is genius in that it puts us in a lot of this frontal plane dynamic side-to-side strengthening. The other thing that's going on there, though, that is super genius about an Essentrics workout is that the side-to-side stuff is extremely beneficial for our posture. So I want to make a little highlight about that because this is a little bit sneaky. And it's one of the things that I think in my own classes, I'm conservative with people about because it's sneaky in terms of how challenging this is for our spine. So one of the things we do, and I'm just going to show you from the upper body here because to be able to connect with you a little bit better, is as I'm lunging, first things first, as my spine goes beyond what would be perpendicular to gravity, this is gravity running through my spine. This is the least challenging thing for my spine. Even though I have to pull upon my posture, it's not challenging my spinal stability because I don't have gravity beating down on me to the side, which creates shearing, right? It puts tension on my spine, vertebra to vertebra, if you can imagine that. And that is a spinal no-no. Your spine does not like shearing force. So it takes a lot of stability, prevention of movement in your spine to be strong in the side-to-side position, especially as you start to incline your torso and not just lower with your leg. I always say, make it leg first. And then as long as that leg is nice and strong, you can also bring your body, you can also bring arms, right? Making it more challenging because you're lengthening how much weight you have at the end of this lever system you're generating. Again, Essentrics is so smart. Okay, so anyway, I'm out here over this arm, or just pretend I'm over this leg. I've got my arms out, or I don't. What do I need to be thinking about so that I'm aware of how challenging that is for my body? And how is that strengthening my posture per se? When I think of posture as something, like I don't usually fall to the side in my posture, although that definitely happens, right? People get used to being on a car or we get positional lateral distortion in our spine, but usually we think posture is this forward and back, right? And if you look up exercises for posture, it'll be like, do rows and back extension position things and stuff like that, which we do plenty of in Essentrics in our own stylized way. The Essentrics workout is all undercover physical therapy if you haven't been. It's recreational, highly functional physical therapy. But one of the things that's so valuable about the side-to-side movement is that we don't have muscles that run straight up and down our sides. The muscles that are supporting me in that side position are actually muscles that run up and down my back, right? Closer and further from my spine. Some of them really track my spine perfectly vertically, and others have this upward fan shape from my low back to my rib cage, right? And others at the base that have the same, a diagonal obliquity, similar, right? Diagonal obliquity, we'll call it, because it's not perfectly positioned to the movement. It has an oblique distribution to that action I'm making, right? So on my back, and then of course my abs that also have obliquity to that motion. I have ones that run straight up and down. I have ones that run like this, the muscle fibers that is, and I do have these diagonals, but again, nothing that runs straight up and down the sidelines, right? So those are the muscles that are creating the movement in my spine and that are preventing collapse and the shearing collapse and stress to my spine that I want to avoid. Huge. So right there, let's take a pause and just say the same muscles. So those muscles on my back that do things like lift me, right? In like a back extension or rolling up from a spinal flexion movement. Those are my spinal erector muscles that keep me lifted for my posture. Those are the same muscles that have to negotiate the side motion, except when I'm going to the side, they're working asymmetrically, which is different from when they're working together. It's even harder. It's the equivalent of standing on one leg for your back muscles, right? I have to have a whole different type of strength, coordination, and activation to be able to do asymmetrical back work. So that lunge and lean is really profoundly challenging to your back muscles, right? It really is like asking, if I'm over here doing something out here, it's like asking my body to stand on one leg with this side of my back. Does that make sense? Like it's really taxing. It's extra challenging to that side of my body and vice versa. Not saying the other side isn't doing anything, but it's not doing as much. It's just like the hovering leg when I'm standing on one leg. It's not that that side of my body isn't participating, but it's not the main actor. So really pay attention to how challenging that is for your back. I'm mentioning it because if you go too far, you can go too far for those back muscles and you can get a lack of stability in your spine, and that's not helpful. So be very conservative in these side-to-side motions and keep in mind how powerful they are and that they are not just an accessory to the movement. They're a very powerful way to strengthen your core functionally and very effective for your stronger posture. So, and you guys know, I'll get on here and make I can give you a million reasons why you want to work on your posture for your health, for your quality of life, for athletic performance, injury prevention, all of the above. It is foundational. I'm all about it. All right. So there you go. Side to side lunges, how they strengthen our back muscles, how that translates into postural strength, and why that is so functional. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in class.